Oh, there we go. Good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, cool.
All right, good.
All right, so Hendralisk taking game one.
Pretty decisively. That escalated quickly upon engagement.
It was like mirror, 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 dead.
Yeah.
That's how it went
Scary
down.
mirror.
Well, guys, welcome back to the Bell Alliant Fiber Op tournament here on, we're LAGTV, and we're actually, what is this, the Spring Cup?
This is the Fiber Op Gaming League Spring Cup, sponsored by Bell Alliant Fiber Op, as well as Best Buy in Dartmouth Crossing here in good old Nova Scotia. Mr. MaximusBlack.
Yeah.
You want to do me a flavor?
Okay.
You want to hit me up with an old school noise? It was nice. I thought it ended, and then you brought it back for like one more go.
Got to do that sometimes.
Every now and then, you got to switch it up. You got to take them by surprise. We are back here on Cloud Kingdom. Up here in the top right-hand position, we are looking at the man who is down a game. The one, the big med machine.
Yes, the
big red machine.
The big med machine.
Yes, get all of your prescriptions through Kane. And down here in the bottom left-hand position, we are looking at Hendralisk, the man who is one up, and the man who is playing pretty decisively from what we've seen in this tournament so far, Mr. Black.
Yeah, I mean, Kane, at this point, I think he's going to need to do the old-school WWF or WWE or whatever it's called these days.
It's not the World Wildlife Foundation anymore.
He's going to have to go in the back, in the locker room, and inject some steroids into his game to come out on top. Speaking of steroids.
Yes.
I bought myself a Livestrong treadmill.
Good segue.
And I mean,
segue.
Obviously, Armstrong is up to his neck in
horse tranquilizers.
Yes, or up to his bum, I should say.
Oh, kid show. It's a kid show.
This is a kid show.
This is a kid show.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I just...
Neither do I. Well, it was a good segue.
Thanks.
Sometimes you just have to go with these segues.
Yep.
They just happen. However, never actually ride a Segway because
they're terrible.
You look ridiculous on them.
It's funny when you see like cops driving them. I was in the States,
and
I was in a mall, right, and actually also in the airport. Like the cops were like, "Yeah, I'm a cop. I got a badge, but I'm also driving one of these little pansy things." And they just look, really goofy. It looks like those things should have been created like 1,000 years from now, when like everything is really futuristic, and then it wouldn't look so out of place. But when you've got like an escalator, and then you've got one of those Segway things,
but you know how you get from point A to point B most times?
Walk?
Yes, your legs actually do a great job.
Yeah.
If you have 2 feet and a heartbeat and you can stand up straight and walk, you should probably be walking.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no excuse for a Segway.
Okay.
You want to know what my segue out of talking about a Segway is?
What's that?
Absolutely nothing, because there is none. We have an Overlord moving up the map here for Hendralisk, going to be slowly working his way up to see what's going on at some point down the road, looking for tech and
stuff. We've got a different build this time.
This is not the same thing. I was just going to say that. We are looking at different. We are seeing speed coming out of here for Hendralisk. He's thinking maybe a little bit of aggression.
Yeah, and we've got some fast upgrades going here for Hendralisk. And he's not going to go ahead and get metabolic boost right away. So perhaps we're going to see some roaches coming out the gate here for Hendralisk. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure on what he's planning on doing here. I'm not super familiar with sort of these one gas builds. I would imagine it would be Roach and Ling, but we'll see.
I would say the same thing if I had to take a wild guess. We are seeing that that quick +1 there for Hendralisk, in fact, that's definitely, I would agree. We're going to see some roaches and lings of some kind, and it's going to be scary because he's going to have that upgrade by the time he decides to push out.
Well, yeah, I mean, and against Banelings, I think Hendralisk is just sort of metagaming right now. He's going to go, okay, well, my opponent's going to go Ling Baneling again, and I'm going to have roaches with +1, and I'm going to destroy everything in my path.
Yeah.
Because he's basically hard countering him. The only way I can see Kane really coming out on top against this unit composition is if he just straight up outnumbers him, like, immensely with lings.
And it's going to have to be quite a considerable amount to get through that, especially with the +1. He's going to need even more in order to accomplish that, because the Banelings aren't going to do the work at this point.
No.
and it would be a waste to try and throw them in there as well.
And holy sweet tits, we got 9 roaches coming out.
All sorts of roaches.
Yes.
Coming out for Hendralisk, so he is definitely getting ready for it. Kane is actually going to run in here, and he might see what's going on. He's going to get into the natural here, or the main. He's going to see.
He knows what's happening. Oh, yeah, he sees one gas. He sees the Evo chamber. He's going roaches.
Yep, he's going to see that there. He's not going to see the roaches themselves, but he's going to know that they're coming at some point.
Yep.
And we immediately
look
see
at this. More spine crawlers.
The spine crawlers go down.
Very good reaction. Yep. Is it going to buy him enough time? We're going to find out here. He is morphing in a bunch of banelings, but once again, they're not very good against roaches. He's really going to have to aim these banelings either on extremely hurt roaches or pick off what lings that are actually there, which there's only 4 of them. And here comes the push. He's going to have enough here. He's definitely going to have enough.
There's a lot of spine crawlers in this line here, and so it's going to be pretty hard for Hendralisk to be able to make his way in there in any way, shape, or form. He could try and skirt around the side with his own banelings, but he doesn't have any right now, so that's not going to happen. So at this point, he's just going to face the music here. And he's going to realize that he's not going to be able to do too much of anything.
And he's actually going to go around here. That was a terrible move.
Poor life choice.
That was just not smart at all for Hendralisk. He's going to lose all of these roaches, and this is going to open up a door for Kane to go and counter. And we don't even have a third going. I thought he'd back off with those roaches, grab a third. But no, he got a little bit greedy there. And look at this, the Spire, about 50% done. This is going all the way bad for Hendralisk.
That was about the last thing that Hendralisk wanted to do there, is to corner himself to a bunch of Zerglings and spine crawlers and banelings.
Yeah.
He should have realized immediately that as soon as he moved forward and saw those spine crawlers, he should have just turned around and said, "All right, this is not my day. I have these roaches. I can defend myself and get up a third and just worry about this down the road." And now he's forced, like you were saying, or not forced, but he's enticed this counter by Kane.
Yeah, and now he has to build up a bunch of units, right?
He can't drone up.
And take a look at this. He's going to be hard countered here.
Exactly.
I mean, that was almost as bad of that misclick with Tubby. I mean, it was so bad that he could have just said, "Oh, sorry, I misclicked, GG," and then hoped and prayed that he got a rematch. Because Kane's such a nice guy.
Well, Kane's got a record for it. So, I mean, really, everybody should be trying this, really. Everybody should go to first game with Kane.
Just metagame the hell out of him.
I misclicked. GG.
Yeah, GG.
Can you give me a game again? Could you give me a game one more time? It'd be ever so nice of you if you could make that happen.
Here comes the roaches.
He wants to go again.
Hendralisk is all in here. He is all in, and he's about to GG out of here because the mutas are out, the lings, the spine crawlers. He's going to realize that this game is basically over.
Yeah.
There's just not a chance. Even if he kills a bunch of drones here, how does he come back?
Well, he's not ready for Mutalisk, that's for sure. It looks like he's just going to be up against a big force of Zerglings and Muta, and yes, he's going to be able to do some stuff here because it's going to take a while for the Mutalisk to kill these roaches. But he's not going to accomplish too much.
Nope.
The last of them will fall here. He's going to see the Spire back here. The upgrade is even coming, and at this point, it would be. It would be nice of Hendralisk to probably realize that it's going to be.
I think he's going to GG out. I mean, now he's just streaming in units one by one. That's usually a good sign that screw it, this game's over. The third is now gone down here for Kane. The mutas are just starting to build up. Barely lost any drones at all. He's still 48-41 with the tech advantage. Roaches are just in the middle of the field doing absolutely nothing.
He did just get Burrow, so maybe he's got something crazy in mind. I don't know, but I don't think that's about to suddenly win him the game either.
No, I mean an overseer will gladly
spot that.
Yeah, spot that very quickly. And well, I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say here except that Hendralisk kind of threw away a bunch of units and then went on tilt from there, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and